is that wedding band represents my union. If I take that off, I go on a business trip and I take my wedding band off, what am I saying? I'm available, and I know a lot of business guys take that ring off, or even gals now take that ring off when they travel because they're making themselves available. And when you do that, you're signaling into the cosmos, that you're vulnerable. I had a priest once tell me, we had a case come to his parish, and I said, Father, you got this case, you got to take care of it. We'll consult and help you through it. He says, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want a target on my back.
You mentioned auxilium kishonorum. I pray it every day, Dr. Dan.
There's over 100,000, maybe as much as 150,000 worldwide prayers. They're very effective. You're entering into a community of prayer for each other, So we're praying for each other, and we're praying for protection for each other. So it's good. Thank you for doing that.
I'm curious because I just had the book of Father Ripperger of Dominion, and he mentioned that about the marriage ring, the protection of that it can bring, and why the demons want you to remove it. And can you elaborate more on that, Dr. Dan?
Again, it goes back to when you commit. When you do a ceremony, a ritual, this is from Dr. Scott Hahn, and he's done a lot of work on covenant and ritual. Within that is embedded self-malediction. May this happen to me if I violate my end of this agreement, this covenant. And so then there's solemn words and ritual actions and objects. In this case, the ring. The ring is a symbol of the unity of the joining of these two. The two become one flesh. And so that ring is that wedding band represents my union. If I take that off, I go on a business trip and I take my wedding band off, what am I saying? I'm available, and I know a lot of business guys take that ring off, or even gals now take that ring off when they travel because they're making themselves available. And when you do that, you're signaling into the cosmos, that you're vulnerable. I had a priest once tell me, we had a case come to his parish, and I said, Father, you got this case, you got to take care of it. We'll consult and help you through it. He says, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want a target on my back. The following week, I was at Mass at a fraternity of St. Peter Parish in the next town over. In the Latin Mass, the priest wears a fiddleback, which is this garment, this liturgical vestment that drapes over the shoulders. It was a white fiddleback with a big red, the chi, the Greek letter chi, which is the first the sounds of the name Christos, so Christ. It's a symbol of Christ. As at the consecration, the servers lifted up slightly the fiddleback, and your eyes were drawn to that. Yeah, the Eucharist. He's elevating the Eucharist, and then the fiddleback lifts, and it draws your eyes back to the priest through the fiddleback, through Christ up to the altar. So Christ offering Christ, so in persona Christi, the priest offering Christ to God, offering God to God, and then, but it's a big red X, and I thought to myself, there it is. So I said, Father, you do have a target on your back. You put a target on your back when you prostrated yourself before your bishop and you became a priest of the living God, a priest forever. That mark cannot be erased from you. You put a big X on your back, right? But the same thing with the wedding ring. You put a target on your wedding, on your relationship. You think the devil really cares about a couple living in fornication? He doesn't care. He's already got them. His only concern is to keep them corralled in that corner of fornication so they don't come into the church. And he's only going to become active in that relationship to the extent that they start having this conversion experience and start coming back into the Catholic faith and getting their married, regularized, and back sacramental marriage, because it's through the sacraments. It's through the 7 sacraments that grace principally and ordinary means flows into the world. And so that wedding band represents something far more than just marriage. It's how grace flows into that construct and through the parents, through the couple, into the children. And so the demon's going to do everything he can to separate the husband and the wife so that he can get access. If he can get the couple to fight, if he can get the couple to divide, now he can get access to the children, which is his ultimate goal, is to divide the couple, cause a fissure, some alienation between them, project a distorted image in their imagination of the other, start getting into that construct, cause division, get them to stop praying together, and ultimately his target is to get to the children. That's his normal way, but it begins with the breakdown of the wedding, of the marriage. And if he can get you to take that ring off, buddy, he's got you, and he's got your children.
Wow. Thank you for that reminder, Dr. Dan. And there's 2